Music brings people together. It's found and known in every culture, past or present, and varies between time and place. It's a space for people all over the world to connect with each other. No matter the race, color, or background, music serves as a purpose to unite, shed light on things of the times, and just creatively express one's own thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. The world has constantly made efforts to change the way we experience art through music form, and has shifted culture. However, music has evolved, and the music industry is not the same as it used to be. Within the past 10 years, we've seen the rise of social media and the decline in music sales. The top-selling album in the world for 2009 was Susan Boyle's I Dreamed a Dream, selling 8.3 million copies in its first few weeks of release, while the best-selling album of 2019 so far is Taylor Swift's Lover album, which has sold 3 million album equivalent units within its first few weeks of release. Now let's break down what album equivalent means. The album equivalent units is a standard at which it equates music sales to downloads and streams. The album equivalent unit was introduced in the mid-2010s as an answer to the drop in album sales in the 21st century. Album sales more than halved from 1999 to 2009, declining from a $14.6 billion industry to a $6.3 billion industry. It's no longer seeing albums as best-selling, but ranking them as most popular. Not a lot of people are buying albums anymore. Unless you're Adele, every artist has seen a dip in sales. And even sales don't really matter as much anymore. Songs are turning into cash grabs, and songwriters are barely getting paid.
The crazy thing is, there's more music being consumed now than ever, which is really cool. But it's not financially stable anymore. You know, songwriters are barely getting by now because of the fact that there's no laws in regard to streaming.
Fans want to be a part of the immersive experience and helping artists reach the top, but will find any ways of getting them there. At the turn of the new decade, it was all about turning the next catchy smash hit. Who can reach number one at the top of the charts? How many people could download your singles and watch your music videos? But with the increase of other streaming platforms like Spotify, SoundCloud, Pandora, and Apple Music, the music discussion became about the replay value of your music. The popularity was not about going to a physical store and purchasing the whole body of work, but rather how many times would people want to listen to your music before they get bored. During the height of the digital native era, we saw many artists getting recognized via YouTube, Vine, and Instagram. It became a machine. Record labels were pushing out artists from the same platform and seeing the lucrative business from popularity, viewerships, and likability. So in a way, you can say that music or the music industry mirrors technology, constantly changing at a rapid pace, trying to seek new and inventive ways to improve. It begins to lose the energy and soul once put into music, and eventually the artist who may or may not be able to live up to the pressure of the music industry. And what was loved and beloved in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s only holds as a nostalgic factor as to what good music used to be. No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. In fact, it's an opportunity. It allows artists to take more control over their artistry. It allows them to become independent. For example, Chance the Rapper being the first artist to win a Grammy for a streaming-only album at the 2017 Grammy Awards. But many questions come to mind. Why is it only a select few artists being pushed out as heavy when there are thousands of people who have a huge following on their social media platforms? Why is it that there are immensely talented singers signed to major record labels but are being shelved? But now the answer comes to mind. It's the behind the scenes in which labels don't take the time to recognize the potential in some artists and help develop them. It's about the music politics. Every day we see viral videos of people singing, producing their own content via social media. We are entertained and are amazed, but within a few seconds later we move on with our lives and find another video as equally entertaining, if not more. It's about what's good in the moment and how we can relate our lives with artists that will hold our attention. In this generation, it's less about being heard, but more about being seen. Music today has become less about taking time to develop great songs, or even the music itself, but about the movement, the following, and the controversy surrounding a pop culture story. It's about fans being able to promote and converse about their favorite artists on their own individual social media platforms and watch them rise and stay at the top of the charts, or get canceled. And while the industry can never go back to the days of the 80s, they do their best to push out artists and personalities that make them money to keep the cycle going, until it stops working. I remember hearing about the music legends in the past generations, whose groundbreaking work left a legacy untouched, and whose influence many artists today. Older generations, and even this generation, debate on what artist or artists are impactful in a time where people water down their legacy, calling them quote-unquote overrated. And now the lines become blurred because people confuse hype for legacy, longevity, and a span of significance over a certain amount of years. And since labels aren't promoting artists with sustainable careers like they have in the past, it brings me to my last question. Did social media kill the superstar? If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to Just the Breakdown as I further the discussion in part 2. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up and leave a comment on what you think. See you in the next video.